In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. One of my favorite DC characters ever has to be Green Lantern. Honestly, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for being as cool as he is, and I think that's just because they can't seem to get Green Lantern right. And they announced today the big news: the HBO Max series will feature Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Okay, so at first I wasn't really loving that idea. They announced it and I immediately was like, come on, where's my guy John Stewart? That's who I've always wanted. But after talking to my buddy Kellen, I realized that I don't exactly love John Stewart from the comics. Don't get me wrong. I do love John Stewart in the comics. He is great in Green Lantern Corps and everything. Guy Gardner is definitely a character that I could learn to appreciate more. So while I am disappointed that I will not get to see John Stewart helming this HBO Max Green Lantern series, maybe Guy Gardner will be pretty interesting. And you can thank Kellen for changing my mind on that. So if you see him, give him a high five and say, thank you, buddy. The Green Lantern series on HBO Max is going to be written by the same people who have been doing the CW stuff, Greg Berlanti, Mark Guggenheim. So I have a feeling that it's going to feel like those shows, but maybe be a little bit bigger. Think of how they're doing Superman and Lois right now, because that show is very CW-ish, but having a much bigger budget and a much better look to it. It feels more cinematic, and I think that's what we're going to get out of this HBO Max show. We've never really gotten anything that has to do with Green Lantern. No, forget about that. Just erase that from your brain. So it's going to be nice for a change to see Green Lantern with the spotlight. There's a lot of lore and mythos with Green Lantern, and I can't wait to explore it. Now, Guy Gardner, as a character in the comics, has been around since the 1960s, so it's going to be interesting to see what they go with. He's had a couple of different origin stories. You know, he has his traditional one, but then he has the New 52 one, and now we're into like the Rebirth era of DC. I think we're still into Rebirth. I don't know. I should probably catch up on the comics a little bit more, right? Anyway, I do enjoy Guy Gardner as part of the Green Lantern Corps. Bringing him into it is going to be interesting because you're going to be able to explore a character that they've never really done in any sort of live action. Think about that. We've had Hal Jordan. Now, we've had mention of Green Lanterns in the DC Extended Universe in Justice League. We thought maybe we would get Green Lantern on Arrow. That didn't end up happening. But in the Justice League cartoon is where we got to see a whole lot more of Green Lantern explored and made us all way more familiar with the characters, and that's fantastic. That was John Stewart. That's what made me fall in love with him. Now, I would absolutely adore a John Stewart Green Lantern show. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if we're going to get that. It would be great if we did, but man, I think that we're a ways away from that. However, having Guy Gardner around leaves that window of seeing the Green Lantern Corps and maybe even more lanterns brought into it. I was disappointed at first. Now I'm excited, and I think it's going to be great. Playing Guy on the show is going to be Finn Wittrock. People know him from American Horror Story. I don't personally know him that well. I don't really watch American Horror Story. I watched the first season. I'm not really into scary stuff. Kind of creeps me out a little bit. I think that he'll be fine. We got to get him some red hair, though. I think that that's definitely necessary. I hope that they go with that white, that traditional Guy Gardner, white gloves, the high collar look. Anyway, we're going to have that very soon on HBO Max, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. Yes! Don't forget, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.